pounds 14 for this little... That's good. Hi, I hope you're all well. If you are new around here, hello, it's lovely to meet you. And if you are returning, thank you very much for coming back. I can't say the words because my son is actually standing here at the moment. So, my name is Alanna, I'm a 36-year-old lady living in Scotland, and that is where my accent is from. And on this channel we predominantly talk all things beauty, hair care, lifestyle, travel-y, vloggery. I can't say it, I'm sorry. And obviously I'm a mum, I would say a new mum, but now he is, what are you, 15 months old? 15 months or so. I'm not a new mum, but I am an only mum. He's an only child. So there are snippets of kind of family vlogs and stuff like that as well, but the channel is not mother and baby. So if this intro seems like that to you, don't worry. There is not a lot of like mum and baby content. It is predominantly all kind of fashiony, vloggery, beauty, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so if that sounds like your kind of thing, there's a subscription button. No, this intro is carnage already before I've even started. But if that sounds like your kind of thing, there is a subscription button in the corner here, just below Jack's head, and give it a little thumbs up, all that other YouTuber crap. So, this video is going to be me trying out all of the Essence stuff that my lovely friend Audrey sent us over. She sent you a lovely hoodie as well, didn't she? This is a full face of Essence makeup. I just realised that I actually hadn't put on any of the concealer under my eyes, but I think it still looks okay. But I did use it as a little bit of a base for eyeshadow. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, that's what this video is going to be, and let's just get into it. Alright, so I am gonna stick on a little bit of slap today using all the Essence stuff that my lovely friend Audrey sent over. Now, as I said in the video, if you've seen the unboxing, I'll put it up here. Basically, she sent over loads of stuff that isn't readily available in shops here in the UK. We can buy Essence products in the UK online, but in shops, in throps, in stores and shops, that's what I've kind of used both words at once there. In shops, we can't go and pick them up or look at them unless it's Wilko's, and there isn't a Wilko's near to me, so I wasn't like traipsing away to go and find one. I think there's one over in Livingston and maybe Ayr or somewhere like that. Like, it's quite far away for me to traipse just to go and find some Essence stuff. And I am someone who loves to see things in real life before I'm picking them up. I will definitely spend more money if I see things in real life than online. I can buy online. There's certain brands that are only online that I will buy from, and I always like just take the plunge with, but to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, I want to see something in the shop before I buy it. So she sent me over this stuff, and she sent over like a lovely bronzing palette, which I was saying, that actually very much the colours, looking at them and stuff like that, reminds me of the Vive, but we're going to try them out today. She also sent me this little palette over, which is the Bronzed This Way eyeshadow palette, which again, kind of reminds me of the NARS palettes. I don't think the colour story is exactly the same, but we're going to give it a go. And actually today, me and Jack are going to meet some friends. It's like... this sounds dead cheesy, but it's like a baby's who brunch type thing. Not baby's who brunch, because we're actually going in the afternoon. My friend's throwing a little thing, Tara, I don't know if she's watching, and there's going to be lots of babies and lots of mums, and we're just going to eat loads of snacks and stuff like that. So I don't want to be going too like wacky, because I've not met some people before, and I know it doesn't matter if you're wearing bright eyeshadow, but I feel like this will be a nice kind of neutral look to go to that today. So if you don't already follow Audrey on Instagram, I am going to put her details in her link below, and as I mentioned in my other video, she has just recently started a YouTube channel, so I'm going to link it up here. So please go and say hello to Audrey, because she is honestly one of the kindest human beings that I have ever met. She's so lovely, so go and say hello to her. But let's just kind of get into this. So I feel like at the moment, my face probably looks quite pale again, but I promise you, I'm actually still, look, that's the paler part of me, but you can see on my shoulders and things, I am still pretty bronzed. The sun has just came out in abundance there, so it's now just got really bright. It was torrential rainstorms a minute ago, even though we're in the middle of June. Today is the first day of summer, and last night it rained so hard that Hampden Park in Glasgow got flooded and had to call off the football. Don't know if you were watching the football. I quite like the football, so you know. But that's how heavy it was. I'm going to take this, and this is the Keep Me Covered Concealer with Aloe Vera, right? I think this is probably too light for me just now, even though I look a little paler on the face, but that is because I do wear SPF 50 on my face at all times, whereas when I'm abroad on the body, I probably take more of an SPF 30. I know, the skin on my body is the same and I should definitely be using SPF 50 all over, but I honestly feel like SPF 30 is enough for my body, whereas on the face I always use an SPF 50. So I'm just using that as a little bit of base for these shadows, that's all, because I didn't want to like put on any kind of base products. I'll probably use the concealer as a little bit of a base, but that is all. So let's try these shadows. Now I have brought you in a little bit because I am going to do the eyeshadows first. I'm going to just do something easy breezy. What do we think? I like this colour. This shade is lovely. This is nice too, but this is, it's almost like a rosy nude, a rosy tan colour. So I'm going to go in with that one first, just kind of through the crease area and see how I feel. Yeah, so Jack is now taking one nap in the middle of the day, but today he has napped a little bit earlier, so I don't think he will sleep as long. So I am trying to do this as quickly as I possibly can, because usually he won't go down till about 12:30 now, and then he sleeps for a good kind of 2 hours, which gives me a little bit of time to do a bit of filming, get a bit of housework done, blah blah blah. But today we went out this morning to like one of these little baby groups. We do like book bug and all that kind of stuff. We went out to that this morning, but over the last few days he has become, I'm going to say monster. I love him to death, but just over the last few days he is increasingly becoming a little bit more difficult to work with. But more in a sense, I think that his bottom molars are coming in. The top ones, I think he has one on this side, one on this side. He has front teeth obviously, and he has 4 bottom teeth, but I think these ones down the bottom are starting to come in, and that is why he's particularly fractious at the moment. So he got put down a little bit earlier for his nap, so if the sun is going in and out, I'm really sorry because I don't usually film in this position at this time of the day, but oh my dear Lord, I swear to God, I messaged his dad this morning and was just like, can we just take this one back please? Which obviously I do not mean. I love my son to death. I hope nothing ever happens to him. I love him with all the bones in my body. But as mums, there are moments where you're just like, son or daughter, whatever it is, you are really driving me to the point of madness right now. So today was that day, and I was like, do you know what? You can just go for a little sleep early, because if you keep going at the moment, yeah, I'm going to fall out with you. And sometimes you just need to step away. Sometimes you just need to be like that to them. Do you know what? Mum's going to sit through here. You're going to sit there and calm down a little bit. And then obviously you go back in and you're like, how are you? Are you okay? And he was fine, and he then went down for a little sleep. I can't believe how much the sun is fucking this up right now. Honestly, I complain when it's not sunny in Scotland, and then today I thought, oh, it's so cloudy and overcast, it's fine, I'll just sit down and do something. And now I'm like, anyway, I'm going to go in with, will I go in with the brown shade as well, the tan one? I'm going to take a slightly smaller fluffy brush to do that. Have I got a clean small fluffy brush? Probably not. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the slightly tan shade now, and I'm just going to work that into like the lower part of my eyelid and kind of join it up to this more rosy nude tan colour. I really like that rosy colour. It's almost like a warm tone, like you could do a bit of an orangey eye with that, but it's definitely a kind of rose and tan colour as well. It's very, very nice. I'm going to say these little mattes are blending like a dream. There is no real issues with them whatsoever, so I'm very pleasantly surprised with the mattes so far. What do we think? That's quite cute. And then I'm going to take one of these shimmers. I'm going to, oh, let me just swatch them for you because they look very, very nice. And I'm going to say, just as I'm rubbing my finger in them, very, very buttery. That is them there. So there's this kind of copper tone. Well, actually, this one's more like a rose goldy pink. This one is like a copper, and this one is a gold. That is them there. Oh, they are very, very pretty. Now, will I go with the rosy gold? Because that's the kind of shade that I've done. I actually really like the coppery one. That one there. That's gorgeous. But I think this... Oh, am I going with pink again? I'm going to put the rosy gold in the middle, okay? Because it's slightly lighter. I think that'll be quite flattering for this area. Oh, that is lovely. Do you know what this is kind of reminds me of though? The look that I'd done with the Primark palette. I think I ended up like a kind of simple warm toned eye, obviously, because it's my safety net. But there's not really much else I can get from this. This is going to be a warm tone dye, I would say, a bronzy warm tone dye. But I do really, really like that rosy colour on the eye there. And the shimmer is actually very, very nice. It's not insipid at all. I've obviously used my finger. Imagine if you wet your brush or put some mixing medium on it, it would be even more impactful. And I think I'm going to take the gold on the inner corner here, just because, why the fuck not? But I am going to do it with a brush, so it is a little bit more subtle than my finger. Yeah, so this is pretty. This is nice because, you know when you get like really yellowy golds and then you get really white golds? This is a bit more kind of in between the two of that. So it's not super duper frosty, almost silvery gold, but it's also not so yellow that you can't get away with it in the inner corner, which, by the way, I would do anyway. I'd put it in the inner corner regardless. But sometimes that kind of yellow gold colour can be a little bit harsh depending on the look you're going for. And there we go. I think that's really pretty. I think that the bronzy one also, if you wanted to just do a whole shimmery eye look, I know some people will be a little bit like, oh, you don't do shimmers all over the lid. Fuck that, just use them all over the lid if you want. But the bronzy one would even be really, really nice in the crease. What I will say is, I don't think there's a really deep shade in there. If you were somebody who was slightly darker skin, even slightly darker skin than me, really darker skin than me, then this is going to be something. I think the shimmers would look beautiful on really dark skin, or olive skin even, but I feel like the mattes really isn't I would like this one to be a little darker, I think, just to build a bit of depth and intensity, to be honest with you. But I think the actual shadows themselves are fantastic quality. So I am going to take, again, that kind of rosy tan shade and just run it under here. And you know what? I'm looking at my eye and I'm thinking, you know what, bugger it, I'm going to put that bronzy shade on the outer corner. I don't care. Maybe it'll give me that little bit of depth that I want. So now that I've kind of used all of the shimmers, I'm actually thinking, see this one here that I'm saying I would like to be darker? That all over the lid with this all over the top, a kind of one and done eye, so to speak. Like, I know you're using two shadows, don't be picky. But that would be glorious. And I'm going to go back in to the rosy tan shade, and I'm just going to blow this out a little bit more, not crazy, because like I say, I'm going to meet people I've never met before. You don't want to look like an absolute, oh, I've put 100 bits to make it. Actually, it doesn't matter. I keep saying this. This is like, it's like you're seeing the insight to my brain. It's like therapy almost, my YouTube channel. But I do worry sometimes people maybe look at me and think, you've got a wee boy, he's like a year old. How are you managing to put all that makeup on your face and have a 1-year-old? Let me tell you, most days it doesn't happen. But I do like to make an effort if I'm going somewhere, if we're going out somewhere, or like today I'm going to go meet some new people, because I feel like this is an aspect of my personality, doing these kind of things, having like makeup and stuff. It really makes my day if I put effort into my makeup and somebody says to me, oh, I love your eyeshadow, it's really nice. I make the point, if I see someone who's got wild eyeshadow colours or even just really nice lipstick on, I'll say, that's really nice, because it makes their day. And I like that too, if somebody does it to me. So although I'm meeting new people today and I want to look somewhat neutral, I still want to have my makeup on. I'm going to go in with that rosy gold shimmer again, and I'm just going to pop that right here. I have mentioned, I don't know how many times now, that for me, having an inner corner highlight is very nice, but having it just kind of below where my iris is actually much more flattering, just below the tear duct. Not for everybody, but try it on your eye shape and see what you think, because I love it. There we go. Yes, very nice. I could put the gold right on the, well, I put the gold in the inner corner. Let's do it. Just a little spot in here. It's kind of melded a little bit with that rose gold as well, because I didn't clean the brush off, but I think that's quite nice. Okay, so quite impressed with these. I didn't check the price of these. Hold on and I will tell you how much they cost. Right, so I put in Essenced Bronze This Way palette, and it didn't come up on like the Essence website. It came up on other websites for as low as $275. Is that right? Oh, wait. Here's one. In dollars though. So maybe we can't get this in the UK, but the Bronze This Way palette is $3.99, which in UK pounds, let me tell you, is £3.14. £3.14 for this little... That's good. That is really good. £3.14 for that little eyeshadow palette is fantastic. Now, I am going to put on this, which is the Long Lasting Eye Pencil. It's waterproof as well, and it is in the shade Hot Chocolate. Now, I'm not going to do a wing or anything. I think I'm just going to tight line with it, maybe put a little bit on the lash line here and just blur it out, but I didn't want to put on like big wings or liner or anything, and it is a waterproof eyeliner, so I'm not going to go bananas with it, but let's just do a little tight liner with it. The strangest faces you'll ever make. Either that or when you're putting your mascara on and you're like... So that's went on really nice and soft. It's just kind of made that a little bit more sultry in the eye there. Again, not really maybe the look I was going for today, but bugger it. But just bring that right under. What's nice as well is though, that it is one of these like retractable pencils, and I find those are actually easier to get right in to the root or the base of your lashes. Yeah, I think that's quite nice just on the underside of my eyelashes there. As I say, I'm just gonna slightly blur out what I'd put on the lash line ever so slightly. So I can't really speak for the eyeliner in terms of did it do a good wing, does it blend well, because I've not really used it that way, but definitely for tight lining it's absolutely grand. I don't know if you can see now, but everything that's on my table is reflecting my face because the sun has came in again, even brighter now. So I am going to use this Essence Lash Princess. I've heard about this mascara loads, but this is the waterproof version. And as a little bit of a disclaimer, I have already tried this. I wore this to work the other day because I thought, well, what a good way to test whether waterproof doesn't give panda eyes, etc. Disclaimer, this I did not enjoy. I think I enjoy it, the actual finish of it, it looked really nice. But I actually did find that I had panda eyes. It's just maybe my face and the way that I put on makeup, I don't know. I did find by the end of 12.5 hours, mind you, that I did have panda eyes. But also, this is what I found so interesting, because it's the waterproof formula, it was absolutely solid to get off. So difficult to get off, which I always kind of thought was the reason with waterproof mascara that I didn't use it very often, because it is very difficult to get off. Even with cleansing balms and oils and stuff like that, micellar water, it can be quite a tough one to get off your lashes. Now, some people swear by waterproof mascaras for holding a curl because they're waterproof, like they hold your lashes up, which may well be a factor. I don't think I've ever really gave it much thought before, but I felt like I expected a waterproof mascara to definitely not give you that panda eye effect. I kind of just thought, well, it's waterproof, why would it? And it still did give me that, despite it being so difficult to then take off at the end of the day. So for that reason, I'm not sure I'm in love with this, but I feel like the finish of it is very, very nice. I think the fluttery effect it gives your lashes is lovely, but I would probably prefer it in its normal formula. So even if it did give me this like panda eye effect, like I'm gonna expect that, because it does happen with a lot of mascaras for me. Oh, look at that, the sun's went behind a cloud and I'm in darkness now. Filming YouTube's videos is a lot harder than it looks, honestly. My friend Ashley was saying to me the other day, like, she started a YouTube. Actually, I'm going to put Ashley's channel up in the corner too. And she was like, oh, YouTube is so much fun and it's really good, but my God, is it a slog because of the amount of work you have to do, like the editing afterwards, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I know, but to me, it doesn't always feel like a slog because I enjoy doing it so much. But I just don't have the time to do it as much as I would like now. It's such a shame. It's actually got so fucking dark in here now. But yeah, it's just finding the time for YouTube. I love it that much. It's my favourite thing to be doing as a hobby, so I try and make the time to do it. But it's a slog sometimes. Like, see this, it's, you know, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes filming a little video and I don't know how many times I've had to turn my lights up, turn them down, blah, blah, blah. And I know people could say, oh, you could film with like studio lighting, like instead of not in front of a window. But I like sitting in front of the natural light because it gives you a better idea of what colours and stuff look like, but who am I? So that is the mascara there. I'm hoping you can see it. I do think it's nice. I just think I'd prefer it in its normal formula rather than in the waterproof one. And I'm going to zoom you out and we'll do a little bit more face stuff. So I only have powder face products because that's what Audrey had sent me over. So I'm going to start with a little bit of bronzing. Now there are 4 shades here and I'm kind of thinking, be sensible. Choose a light one, Alanna. But I'm also like, let's go in with a darker shade. Why not? I am going to take my all-time favourite bronzing brush. This is the LARAFAYE F02. This was not sent to me. I bought it myself, but I have bought 3 of these, I think, now. And they have sent me PR in the past, but not this. I bought it by myself. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the second one here. I thought, light one, let's go for second. Let's just do it. Let's do it. I've got a little bit of colour to my face at the moment. Let's just fucking do it. So I'm just going to start... maybe a little orange. Maybe a little... Hold on, let me tap that brush off and let's go into the lighter one. Let's just be safe. Let's try the lighter one. I know I was being all like bullshit there. Let's go in with the second one. But I feel that might be a little bit orange for my skin tone. That's sometimes why darker shades actually suit me, because if I go with a lighter and paler one, sometimes they're more yellow, whereas these have a bit of red in them and weirdly suit my skin a bit better, because I would go slightly more red brown, ruddy brown, because, you know, I'm Scottish, what do you expect? So I'm just gonna start, I'm gonna bring it across my brow bone as well, because again, if you're being bronzed, it's kind of anywhere that the sun hits, you know? So I'm just gonna, these are very pigmented. Very pigmented, and the other thing I'm gonna say is, I feel like these are quite matte. I didn't really think about that before I put it on. Is it matte? Yeah, 4 matte bronzing shades. So I don't usually use matte powders. That was maybe an error on my part. You can see it's got a lot of good colour there. That's a lot of good colour. So yes, I did mix the brush and the second one first, but I'm just going to dip into the lightest shade for this side to see if there's too much difference. Now that I've kind of brushed most of that off on this side. I take my bronzer right across here as well, because at the end of the day, if your hair was tied up off your face, you would get the sun there, you'd get hit right there, and that's why I kind of take it all the way down these areas. I don't just use it as a contour, because if you were bronzed and hit with the sun, all these areas of your face would be getting bronzed, wouldn't they? So that is the lighter one on its own. I think you can see that one is a little bit darker, but that's quite nice. That's quite a nice shade. I think, yes, in hindsight, I probably should have just went with the lighter one, but fuck it. You live and you learn. I'm just going to add a little bit of the darker one to the back end of my face to contour a little bit, because obviously I just want to even up my face now because I've made a bit of a boo-boo here, but what can you say? Live and learn, as I said. So that is actually really, really nice. I'm just going to take it lightly across the chin as well, because again, that area kind of sticks out a little bit, and then bring a little bit down the neck. And actually, now that it's on my face, it doesn't look that bad, because as I say, I'm quite brown on the body, so that's fine. But it is a very matte powder, probably way more matte than I would use, but blends quite nice. I like it. I think in hindsight they don't remind me of the Vive ones, because they do have a little bit of a sheen to them, the Vive ones. But I think that's quite a pretty colour. I think that's nice. I just feel a little bit like, maybe just because I'm not used to it, I'm looking in the mirror here thinking, that looks matte. Like, I feel like I look matte. But let's see if we can juice it up a little bit. I'm saying that, and it's 2 other powder products that I'm going to be using, but let's try. Let's try. So this here is the blush, and this is in Rosy Rosewood. And it's a baked blush, isn't it? And do we think this has got a sheen to it? Silky smooth texture, but it doesn't say if it's got any sheen in it. It doesn't look completely matte though either. It looks like there's something in there. I'm going to take quite a big fluffy brush as well. Again, this is probably my favourite brush for blushing. I really, really like using this with powder blush, so we're going to do this. I should tell you what it is, shouldn't I? An F13. This one was sent to me by LARAFAYE, so you know. I'm not affiliated with LARAFAYE. I don't have any like codes with them that I get kickback off of. They're just a very, very kind small brand that send me things every now and again, so I think their brushes are fantastic. They're some of my favourite brushes that I use. Do you know what's strange, right? So see on like this area of my face, the bronzer, fine. See up here, maybe just because I've got more lines here, I feel like as if these bits here, this is where it looks very matte. On the sides of my face, not so bad. On the forehead, it just looks very, very matte. I feel like I'm missing a bit of gloss. Maybe because I usually sweat there as well, I don't know. So I'm just lightly adding this blush, like kind of in this area here. I kind of like my blush quite high. And I think that is a very pretty blush, actually. It is very nice. And also I feel like quite subtle. Like I don't feel like I'm dipping in with this and then it's getting carried away with itself. You hear that train there? It's one that probably will build quite easily. I'm going to just take a tiny bit across my nose as well, because why not? But that one is quite pretty. I think that's nice there on the tops of the cheeks. I'm not going to do any more than that because I know the bronzer is quite heavy and I don't want to start looking like fucking Neapolitan ice cream. No offense to people that wear their bronzer and highlight and blush like that, but I don't want to fucking do it. This, I don't know what it is. This to me is just so matte at the moment. I feel so matte that I need to put a bit of sheen on. And this is the illuminating powder Kissed by the Light from Essence. And the shade is Star Kissed. It's like one of these ones that's kind of got 3 different shades. So it's got a little blushy shade, a little bronzy shade, and a highlight shade. I don't feel like this is going to give me what I need to take away that powdery look, but I'm going to try it on the tops of the cheeks. I'm going to try this little tapered brush. This is the F16. I use this one with the Rare Beauty highlighter. What is that called again? You know the one I'm on about, the one everybody was crazy about a few weeks ago. I use it with that and I think it works quite well. So let's try this. I'm going to just swirl in the top area here. I don't really want all these colours because I already have quite a lot in my face. So I'm just going to swirl in the top there and then add a little bit of a dusting to the top of my face here. I'm just wary now because I've used 3 powder products again. Maybe just because I'm not used to it, that I'm going to look overdone and powdery rather than dewy and natural, but that's because that's what I'm used to. Now I think that the sheen on this is actually very subtle and very, very pretty. I'm just going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to pull out this mirror that I got from Amuse because I feel like it will be easier to actually see what I'm doing here because the sun has came back now, as you can see. Now I'm fucking all bleached out again. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see here. This is actually a very, very pretty highlighter. Very pretty. Unfortunately, because of the sun, you're not going to see it. Oh, I'm just losing the will to live with this video now. Jesus Christ. I only have the time he's sleeping to do this. Son, please fuck off. Alright, it's calmed down a little now. I just sat there for 5 minutes being like, son, come on, pal. So, I actually think this is a really beautiful, subtle highlighter. Very, very subtle. I kind of was worried it was going to be like super frosty, I'm not going to lie. But that is very, very pretty. What I would like to do with this, obviously I'm trying out all the products, is I feel like this is a product that I would probably use with bronze skin. Like if I was away somewhere and I went, well, I'm lying, because if I was away somewhere I probably wouldn't use a powder product. But if I already had a bit of colour to my skin and wasn't applying a bronzer, this would be something that would just be very beautiful, swirled and put on the cheeks. But because I've just used it purely as a highlighter, that is very pretty. I'm hoping you see it. It's very, very subtle as well. I'm not going to put any like on the tip of my nose or anything like that. I normally put my highlighter like here as well, and I know people like want to mattify that area for sweat, but personally I quite like that being a bit sheeny, and I quite like the top of my cupid's bow. But with this I am not going to do that. I do have this, which I'm just going to throw in because I've not tried it yet, the Filter Finish Liquid Highlight Wand from Collection. It's one of the ones that's a Charlotte Tilbury dupe, but again, why you would want to dupe this packaging, I will never know. I am just going to squeeze out a tiny, tiny bit and pop it there because I don't want it to be overly like frosty or anything like that, and pop a little bit in here to make me feel just a tad more human again, because I feel like I just want to look like I've got some sort of dew or gloss to me. I feel like this is a look that I'm going to have to use maybe that Milk Hydro Grip spray or something. I need something to make me look dewy. I feel I look too matte, and I probably on the camera look fine, but I feel too matte. Let's try the next one. This is another one that I spoke about in that kind of watch new video. It's the Dewy Finish Satin 16 Wear makeup setting spray. I can't fucking say it all in one word. Before I do that, I'm going to use this from Essence. It is the Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel. I'm just going to put a wee bit of this through. I've never used this before. Oh, it's quite a wet formula, just so you know. But I feel like it, what was the shade I got? Oh my god, where is it? Where is the shade? 5, Chocolatey Brows. That's the shade I got. I feel like this is a very, very wet formula. Oh my god. I feel like it's going through my brows, but it's also maybe adding a bit too much colour to the skin. Does that make sense? So we'll just see. We'll see how it works for hold as well. Get some of that excess off because I can literally feel. Actually, I'm going to zoom you in. So as I was pulling up with the spoolie there, can you see these little strokes? That's actually how wet it was on the spoolie. That is not my eyebrow hairs. Oh my god. Can you see it there? That's my skin. That's not my eyebrows. That's maybe just too wet for me. But we'll salvage it. Alright, so I'm going to use the Dewy Setting Mist in the hope that it makes me feel a little bit less powdery, so to speak. I don't feel powdery, that's not true. I just feel a little matte for me. So, that's quite a nice sprayer actually. I was feeling a little bit like, is this going to just bukkake my face? But that's actually it's quite a wide sprayer. Like, I feel like the wetness is down here on my arms too. So, that has maybe added a little bit more life. Again, you probably won't notice that on the camera, but I feel like that's just gave my skin a little bit more boost to it. Now for lips, Audrey had sent me this, which is again a Stay Matte 8-hour liquid lipstick. And the shade is Bite Me If You Can. It's quite a deep, dark lipstick. I am probably definitely going to take this off by the time we go out for our little kind of baby brunch thing. I'm not going to wear this through the day. But bugger it, let's just try it on. Actually, I'm going to just line my lips slightly before I do it. So it's definitely like a classic liquid lip. It's got a nice scent. It's got one of these like, do you know what it's reminding me of? The NYX ones like this. I think they are, is it the liquid lingerie or some velvet? I can't remember what they're called. I used to have a few of them when I was younger. This is definitely like a deep kind of vampy red colour. Okay, so this dries super fast. Super duper fast. Oh my god. Okay. I really, really like the colour. I think the colour is gorgeous. I think if I was going on a certain night out, this would be fantastic. I am actually sitting here thinking, my friend Charlie would fucking love this. I think she would love this colour. She would love the finish of it because it's very matte as well. I'm going to zoom you in. I'm hoping you can see here. So it's not very forgiving because it's dried so quick that I couldn't like blend where I've kind of made it. You'd have to do a really crisp lip line before you put this on basically, because as soon as it dries, like that is it. But it is very, very matte. Like my lips feel bone dry. I'm just going to use a clean finger to see if it actually transfers. Slightly, very slightly, but I imagine if I was to drink out a cup now, this would not move. But I think the colour is very, very pretty. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not comfortable. It's not comfortable on my lips. I feel like maybe if I put a balm or something over the top, it takes away from the effect of how matte it is. If I was going out for an evening out, then I would maybe wear this. This is not going to be something that I'm wearing all day. This is so matte. Super duper matte. Oh my god, I just kissed my hand there. And of course it was where I had the swatches, so just fucked that up, didn't I? Oh my god! So anyway, as I was saying, super duper matte, like there's no transfer there. I'm going to take this lipstick off anyway, so great, looks fantastic. Hi, you saying hello? You saying hello? Say hi. Hi. I always feel like in the videos now, especially the last one I did, he looks really like angry, but it's just because he's just woken up from a nap. He is actually a very smiley little soul, but it's just because he's just woke up from a nap. What is that you've got? Do you want to show it off? What is this? Look. He's also probably thinking, what is this setup, mum? Why am I looking into this camera? But yeah, what's this? What's this? Do you want a brush? You want this? You clapping? Clap, clap, clap. Anyway, that is where I'm going to leave this video. You want to do mummy's face? You want to do mummy's face? Yeah, you put some on mum's face? Oh, that's mum's t-shirt. That's not mummy's face. Actually, can you say bye? It's so funny at the moment when he's saying bye, so he does this. But he's kind of just picked up this southern drawl, and I don't know how, and he's like, bye, bye. Like he doesn't say bye in the way that we would say it in Scotland, like bye. He says bye, bye, like in a pure, yeah, you do, don't you? In a pure like southern drawl accent, you know, he's like bye. You clap him. You gonna say bye? No, he's very much like, I'm not a performance seal here, mum, and that's not what I'm gonna do. So we are gonna love you. Well, bye. Say bye. So we are going to get moving and go and visit our friends now and something. Bye, that's right. And we are going to go and visit his friends now. Again, sorry for the carnage at the end of the video. We're getting a lot of byes now. bye. See, it's like bye. Anyway, that is where I'm going to leave it, and I will see you all again in the next one. Bye.